production tax credit.
Mr. President.
Senator from Vermont.
Thank you, Mr. President. Let me begin by thanking Senator Mark Udall for his continued focus on ensuring that Congress extends the production tax credit. Senator Udall has been down on the floor time after time after time on this important issue, and we all owe him a deep debt of gratitude. Thank you very much, Senator. I also want to thank him for his very kind words about the NRG company, and we hope when you visit us at Vermont you'll see it. They are a cutting-edge company, they are an extraordinary company, and we're very proud of the work that they have done and are doing, and are cognizant of the problems they're facing today, the layoffs that they have had to experience because Congress has not passed the production tax credit. Mr. President, as you know, this important incentive, the production tax credit, moves us forward in a direction that we must go in terms of producing safe, sustainable energy by providing 2.2 cents per kilowatt hour incentive for wind energy produced. Mr. President, let's be very clear, and I think a lot of people, perhaps in Congress and certainly all over the country, don't fully grasp this. I think some people still think that wind is some kind of cute, fringe technology which is not very significant here in the United States of America. So let us be very clear. Wind accounts for 35% of all new electric generating capacity installed in our country over the last 5 years, more new electric capacity during that time than nuclear and coal combined. Let me repeat it. Wind accounts for 35% of all new electric generating capacity installed in our country over the last 5 years. This is not some untested fringe technology. It is mainstream. Wind today is producing electricity at very competitive rates. According to the Department of Energy, wind is producing electricity from between 4 to 7 cents per kilowatt hour. That happens to be far cheaper, as it happens, than electricity produced by new nuclear plants. Today, the United States has over 48,000 megawatts of wind, and Texas alone has over 10,000 megawatts. Iowa and South Dakota have achieved the milestone of getting 20% or more of their electricity from wind. Once again, this is not a fringe technology. This is a technology that is growing and that is cost-effective. In my state of Vermont, we are home to leading wind companies like Northern Power in Barrie and NRG Systems in Heinsberg. These companies sell wind energy products globally and create good-paying jobs in the state of Vermont. The wind industry supports over 470 manufacturing plants nationally and some 78,000 jobs from one end of our country to the other. Mr. President, if Congress fails to act on the wind tax credit, we could see a hemorrhaging of some 37,000 wind energy jobs in the next year. We have already seen wind job losses in Vermont due in part to the uncertainty. If you oppose the production tax credit, what you are saying to construction workers who want to build wind farms next year is, sorry, you are out of work, and in the middle of this severe recession, we should not be saying that. Mr. President, those opposing the wind credit say that Congress should, quote unquote, not pick winners and losers. Unfortunately, for many, many decades, for better or for worse, Congress has picked winners and losers. That's just the simple reality. One big winner is the fossil fuel industry, which is set to receive over $113 billion in subsidies over the next 10 years. So when folks come to the floor and they say, we don't want to pick winners and losers, we don't want to give tax breaks and tax credits for wind or solar, the truth is that in a 10-year period, the fossil fuel industry will receive over $113 billion in subsidies. These subsidies include rather incredible loopholes, such as allowing BP to take a tax write-off for the cost of cleaning up their disastrous oil spill in the Gulf. Many of these tax subsidies for big oil and coal corporations never phase out and never expire. Another big winner in terms of support from the federal government is the nuclear power industry. They get tens of billions of dollars in federal research and development. They get risky multi-billion-dollar federal loan guarantees for new plants. And they get the federal Price-Anderson liability insurance program, which has been conveniently extended for over a half a century. And I raise these points to suggest that what we are asking for is fairly modest compared to what fossil fuel industry and the nuclear power industry receive. Mr. President, it is absurd that Congress continues huge subsidies for the fossil fuel industry, for the nuclear power industry, and yet is resisting providing support for safe and sustainable energy like wind. If we are serious about job creation and putting construction workers back to work, if we are serious about reversing global warming and cutting back on greenhouse gas emissions, we must be investing in the growing sustainable energy sector at a modest cost compared to huge subsidies for fossil fuels and nuclear. An extension of the production tax credit can provide wind energy companies the certainty they need to invest in job creation in America. Mr. President, I really want to congratulate Senator Udall for his excellent work and his leadership on this issue, and I look forward to working with him and all of my colleagues so that we extend the production tax credit and create a more level playing field for sustainable energy. And with that, Mr. President, I would yield the floor.